Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. Today's video is a yarn review. The yarn is Panda Polar Puff yarn. That is a mouthful. This is a yarn made in China for the Australian Yarn Company. So stay tuned, watch the review and see what I think of it. Back shortly. So let's get started. Panda Polar Puff yarn. I came across this yarn when I was doing some yarn shopping. I'd seen ads of it but couldn't work out who stocked it. And then suddenly I found it on Craft to You. And I bought 2 balls of pink and 2 balls of yellow. Now they are 50-gram balls and I paid $3.30. What I didn't realize at the time, because I didn't read it properly, it had glitter in it. I thought they were solid colors. So it is 92% polyester and 8% lurex, and there are 59 meters in a 50-gram ball. I was a bit disappointed because I don't like glitter yarns. I found they just break off, shed, and make a mess. But as I've paid for it, I thought I'd give it a go, and I was pleasantly surprised. So let's review the yarn. First of all, it's very lightweight, which suits me, which is what attracted me. It's the sort of yarn I like to use. Blanket yarn hurts my hands, and that's about as thick as I go. I can't go any thicker than that. But this is ideal along with a slightly thicker yarn. So for this yarn, I used a 4mm crochet hook. I very rarely make solid color plushie items. I always need a complementary color. So yellow didn't go with what I had planned, but I did team it with, because I discovered it's a perfect match with Paddy's plush yarn. We've got a lot of rain here today, so lighting's pretty bleh. And as you can see, when you put these two together on my finger like this, if you can see, they're a good size match, which to me, I thought will work out perfect. So putting those aside, what did I decide to make using Panda Polar Puff? I did a short video on Australian native bees going to war because Mother Nature is so cruel and mean, but necessary. I'll put a link to it up here and in the description below. It's only a short video, about 50-something seconds. Definitely worth checking out because it's really interesting and I was quite surprised. So that inspired me to make bees, along with, at my last market, a lady asked me for barrel bees. I took 2 to market and sold 1. I don't like making them, and that's why I rarely have very many of them. I've never really found a pattern I like. They either turn out too big, too small, they don't look right to me. So they're not a fun make for me. But I will have 1 or 2 on a market stall. But this time I thought I'm going to explore making bees. So first off the rank, I decided, and I have to look at my notes, I was going to make a bee that I'd bought a pattern for, and I'd bought it on Etsy from Discretion's or Dicreation store, and something like that. And it's called Sweetie Bee. Now remember, all patterns, tutorials, anything I use will be in the description below, along where you can purchase Panda Polar Puff yarn. So this is the pattern. As you can see, I use the yellow. I like the effect. It gives the bee like a dewy effect. This particular pattern I've made before, and they turn out. This is the smallest it's ever turned out. It always turns out too big for me. I may give him a mouth, I don't know. Look, I think barrel bees should be a lot smaller, but that's what I made. When I used the yarn, I was pleasantly surprised. It works really easily. It slides along the hook. However, you cannot do a magic ring with it. The lurex stops it closing up. But there are other ways to start your project. The lurex itself, which is what I was concerned about, peeling off, shedding, whatever excuse me. There they go, nervous hiccups. The lurex itself, very little shed. Even the yarn, very little shed. Sewing was not exactly difficult, but it wasn't easy as other yarns. but I did like the way it turned out in this particular barrel bee, even though I think he's too big. Bee number 1. Bee number 2. So I've bought a lot of patterns from MadelineMaeCo, and I really like them. And I bought this one when she changed her name to Todd and James, but it's back to MadelineMaeCo. It is the Bumblebee pattern, this one. Ta-da! I like her little patterns like this. It is absolutely so cute. Look at that. It turned out so cute. He looks a bit devilish, actually. I'm thinking of giving him a little mouth because he looks like the devil bee. I love the wings, the double-sided wings. And it's just cute. And using the Panda Polar Plush in a different format, like doing this type of bee, still worked fine. Very little shedding, easy to do, whipped it up really quick. So the MadelineMaeCo pattern, I love it. It gets a 5-star review from me. So easy to make. And the thing about MadelineMaeCo is she has great discounts on her patterns every so often that are worthwhile checking out. Look, when people offer me 5% or 6% off, I don't see that as a discount. Anything 10% or over is a discount. So yeah, I love her patterns. Whenever I see they're on sale, I'm exploring to see what else she's got because I do have a lot of them. And I highly recommend the Bumblebee pattern. And he has turned out so cute in the Panda Polar Plush and the black Patty's Plush. Now, I keep picking fluff off him like everybody else does. So that was a different bee and using different techniques to crochet with the yarn. I then made a barrel bee, and this, I had stopped at 2 bees, and then I was on Instagram and I saw a post from Rose Likes Crochet where she'd made a heap of barrel bees, and she recommended the tutorial she uses is by Katie Being Creative. And I thought, well, let's see this barrel bee turns out for me because hers look great. And here we go. In the Panda Polar Plush Yellow, a barrel bee. The size I want, perfect. Just perfect. And it was so easy to do. And it turned out great in the Panda Polar Plush. He's got that dewy look like he's been out early in the morning. And yeah, that is the tutorial pattern for me for barrel bees. And in this yarn, absolutely. And Rose, thank you for the recommendation on Instagram. That post really got me motivated. The other thing about it was she just didn't do traditional colored bees. She had these pink and grey bees, and I really like them. So for all the Panda Polar Plush that I've shown you so far, I used a 4mm crochet hook. But I thought, what if I do one in the pink, hot pink from Panda? And I used a smaller crochet hook to get the size I want, and still the same tutorial. So here it is, my little pink and grey bee on a keychain. Isn't he cute? I really like these. I may do more in the future in pink and grey and different colours. And I gave him a little mouth, which I like. He's so cute. So yes, Rose's pink and grey bees, I've made one. Courtesy of Katie Being Creative. Please check the tutorial out. I love this pattern. I finally found one I can enjoy making, and especially in the Polar Puff yarn. The other thing was I was out shopping one day. This is just a side issue away from the yarn. I wish they'd had more. They only had one left, but they had a tea towel. Be kind. And I've given it a black topper to put with my bees. I just thought, oh, wouldn't it be great? Because they're so cute and people like this sort of thing. So that was just a side issue. So Panda Polar Puff. See, it's really hard to say. What do I think? I like this yarn. I would give it 4.5 stars out of 5. Value-wise, depending on where you buy it, for 50 grams, it's not bad value. And if you want a yarn with a bit of glittery look to it, this is the yarn for you. It's easy to work with, even if you can't really do a magic ring. I like the way the glitter works out and doesn't shed much, because that was my big bugbear with other glitter yarns. Would I buy it again? Definitely. There are 15 colours in the range, but they are muted. As you can see, that's hot pink, but it's muted. They are muted colours. But if I can marry it with Patty's Plush, her brighter colours or other colours, then why not? I think it is a great yarn available to us in Australia at a reasonable price. You can buy it at Crafts to You, Crafts Online, and there is one of the little cottage plays. I'll put 3 links in the description below. So anywhere from $2.95 to $3.30 a ball. Definitely good value and a great yarn to make my little bees. I really like these. So I was really fortunate to be on Instagram watching Rose and being inspired to make bees. I did make one other bee. It's not in Polar Puff. It's all in Patty's Plush yarn. I've had this for a while. I have sold them before, this pattern. This pattern is by MysticalHippieau, an Australian young girl. I don't think she does many videos now. It's called the Bobble bee. And I thought, after all those bees, I have to make a Bobble bee. He does turn out to be a decent size, but he was the smallest I could get before I found this one. So yes, I have a range of bees for my next market in August, next weekend. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know if you've tried Panda Polar Puff and what you think of it, and any other recommendations for barrel bees, because I was fortunate I came across Rose Likes Crochet Instagram post. Take care, stay safe, and get buzzing around crafting. Bye for now.